Is Wanda the MCU's next big evil? Oh, what? For real? We're going to discuss that in episode 4 coming up. My name is Coach Ace, and we are the Defenders of Comics. Yo. Episode 4, WandaVision. We're going to discuss a little bit, just our thoughts. We're not going to do Easter eggs or anything right yet, but wow.
Yeah, it was a great episode. I really ramped it up big time in this episode. So if anyone was a little, hey, this is kind of boring, where is this going? It's so weird. Well, this one should have helped answer a lot of questions and ramped it up big time.
I'm going to say I'm very glad they finally went, even though I enjoyed the sitcoms, I'm actually glad they went away from it because I was starting to get, like, the sitcoms are almost more of the story to me than the actual story.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I think they almost went too far into creating a narrative as a real episode of a sitcom, as opposed to moving the story forward of what WandaVision is in the beginning.
Yeah.
And so, I think, and maybe we talked about this before, but I almost feel like they should have released all 4 of those episodes at the same time.
There is zero doubt that every WandaVision episode is way too short. Like, way too short.
Yeah. And I think if you could have had those 4 episodes in one chunk, and you actually got to see where the story was going, and then go weekly,
yeah,
I think that would have created even more hype. But, you know.
I feel the casual people like my wife, I always say my wife, is almost already checked out.
Yeah.
To where I'll be begging her, watch episode 4, it's worth it, it tells you so much. And I wish you didn't have to do that. You know, they're only there for so long, and you either hook them or you don't.
Yeah, that's true. But I do think if they tried and give episode 4 another shot, it's going to be, okay. Yeah, I'm coming back next week.
Okay, we're going to get right into episode 4, and it starts off freaking amazing.
Yeah, big shocker. I didn't know what was happening here. Yeah. At first I thought, is Monica getting her powers? Like, what is going on here?
I thought, at first, we were going to see her on the ground like we left her in episode 3.
Right.
And then I was confused when I was seeing this.
Yeah, so what ends up happening here is we get to actually see the ramifications or what it felt like when everyone started coming back from the blip.
That's awesome.
I mean, we got a little bit of that in Far From Home Spider-Man where you showed people in their band uniform or whatever coming back and kind of cutesy funny, but this showed how chaotic it really was.
I was a little confused. I mean, because it was quick. Like if everybody's coming back from the snap, it's going to be very quick. And then when she was going through the hospital asking for information, and they were saying we're over capacity. How do you know you're over capacity so fast if it's a?
I don't know. You know,
that was a little hard, I thought.
But yeah, I agree. But other than that, I thought it was pretty phenomenal to see how they showed that. I thought that was a piece of the puzzle for everyone coming back that we hadn't seen before, and now we do, and I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, I did too. Now, if you don't know why she was at the hospital, here's the little backstory about she was at the hospital. And I was a little confused about 3 years, 5 years, so I'm going to let you explain it a little more than what I know.
Well, yeah, I mean, everyone was gone for 5 years, so she came back 5 years later. She was in the hospital. I guess everyone appeared exactly where they were when they disappeared.
Could you imagine that?
Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, she was there with her mom. And if we remember this, her mom was in Captain Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
So she was the pilot friend of Carol Danvers. Anyway, her mom was in the hospital with cancer. She had successful surgery and treatment. Monica thought she was waiting to take her home. Turns out, not so much. She ended up having cancer 2 years later and died. So she's actually been gone for 3 years.
Yeah, that is insane.
Yeah, so that was pretty crazy. Well, it was really well written, and
I thought it tugged at your heart a little bit, and it made you get in depth with Monica right away. Like
Right.
you had a connection with her in that situation.
And by the way, I think she does a great job. I'm already invested in her character, and I'm excited to see her do more things.
I'm going to say this about WandaVision. Monica and Elizabeth Olsen and all them are phenomenal actors.
Yeah, they're doing a great job.
Like Elizabeth Olsen in this is my god.
We'll get into that. She gets a little scary.
But the Class B actors that they have, some of them are.
Yeah, someone compared it to, these are movie star quality actors, and they're intermingling with kind of cheap sitcom actors, and sometimes it shows a little bit. But
hey, they gotta have budget where they gotta
work with what they got.
So, Monica finally finds out that she is, as of this date, and they're taking her to SWORD headquarters.
Yeah.
And then when she gets there, there's a gigantic, basically it sort of looks like an airport. Like very white, very CGI.
It reminds you of S.H.I.E.L.D. a bit, how it was in Winter Soldier.
So when she's walking in, her card doesn't work right away because obviously she's been gone for 5 years.
Yep.
And then somebody recognizes her, and they're walking through, and then they see this on the wall.
Yep. Boom, there's her mom. So,
is there anything missing on that?
Yeah, why was she not listed as the founder of SWORD? Much like Peggy Carter was the founder and starter of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, yeah. I don't know. Looks like an oversight, but there she is, and they reference her more later on as well.
The question on this was, did they purposely not put that up there to protect? But at the same time, if somebody is in the SWORD lobby, they're probably going to have a pretty good idea of what's going on anyway.
Yeah, I would think so. So it seems like an oversight.
I thought they would have done that with the movement towards power, you know what I mean? Yeah. Sorry, didn't want to go there. Yeah. Alright, so now we are introduced to...
Hey, this is Jimmy Woo. Who remembers him from Ant-Man and the Wasp? He was the one that played Scott Lang, and I was always after him if he broke his probation, but here he is, he's back. And so he does a pretty good job in this. He's lighthearted. I think a little bit,
almost too much, but I did enjoy his character.
I do too. And we're going to go into a little sidebar real quick on Jimmy Woo. Jimmy Woo is actually kind of a big deal in the comics, and Marvel's going to, more than likely, according to rumors, have him play a more integral role in the Marvel Universe. And here he is. He is the leader of the Agents of Atlas. And they're a really cool international team. Jimmy Woo is a little bit like Captain America and Nick Fury in that he started out in the 50s.
Really?
Yeah, so that original picture there was the original team from the 50s.
Wow. This one.
Yeah, like Gorilla Man, Venus, Namora, which is a cousin of Prince Namor, M11, the robot, and the Uranian, who actually was called Marvel Boy in the 50s. So that was the original team, and they got kind of some kind of super serum or what have you that allowed him to stay young and progress through the years. And then now he has a new team.
This one?
Yeah. As you see in the lower right corner there is Shang-Chi. So we all know Shang-Chi's a huge deal, getting his own movie this year. So he kind of helps Jimmy Woo create a newer, younger Agents of Atlas. And this is a bit of a international cash grab on Marvel's part.
Is this where are they going to introduce this side of it through Jimmy Woo?
Yeah, I mean, if I have to say, we won't see much, if any, of the original team, in my opinion. They're going to go with this younger, hipper, cooler team because they're each from different countries. I think it's like China, Japan, Thailand, where else? Maybe Korea. You got Wave and White Fox, Luna Snow, Crescent, Swordmaster, Arrow, and then Chinese or Japanese, I can't recall, Amadeus Cho, his heritage, what he is, but he's Braun there. He's kind of an offshoot of a Young Hall. Anyway, you're going to click all the international buttons and they're going to gravitate towards that. It makes you money. You appeal to other countries. Marvel's a world brand, so
yeah. I mean, it's what they got to do.
Yeah, and I'm not knocking it. Actually, I find these characters are pretty compelling and interesting. They've done a good job with them, so I'm actually excited to see them.
Okay, so we're gonna go back to this scene right here. So Monica is introduced to Jimmy, and Jimmy has sort of been there already, checking out what's going on. And there's two cops, and you can barely see him over Jimmy's shoulder, sitting on the road at a cop car, and they're saying something's very strange here. And they go ask the cops, "What is Westview?" And they're like, "There's no such thing as Westview."
Yeah, they're bewildered, under some kind of enchantment. What are you talking about? It's Eastview.
Yeah, we're from Eastview.
So, right there and then, Jimmy's already seen this. He shows it to Monica. Something big time wrong here.
So Monica, as the sword agent she is, decides to get this high definition, great technology drone.
Wow, I can't afford something better than that? That looks like something you get at Dollar General. I mean, am I wrong? That looks like crap.
What I'm really confused on this, because they do have better ones.
Yeah,
because you're showing them going in and just crashing every second.
I don't know. They must have stopped off at, like I said, Family
Is this
Dollar
her personal one that her mom used to use back in the day? Or
yeah, it's vintage, I suppose, but it's garbage.
But if you understand what this drone is, it's also the one in episode 2.
Yeah, so obviously it transforms into a retro-looking toy, changes
I think
colors.
this one looks cooler.
Actually, it's way cooler, so... Yeah, so that told you what that is, and that was pretty cool. Hey, and going back real quick though to Jimmy Woo and why he was even there, and we can get into some of this later. He was checking on Westview or Eastview, whatever, because he had someone there under witness protection.
Yep.
Now, who is that going to be? I'm hoping or thinking that's going to play out later. Again, tying back into the possibility of Simon Williams' Wonder Man, because at one point he was in a lot of legal trouble, which threw him into Baron Zemo and getting his powers. So I don't know. It could be a lot of different things they could be playing with there.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. So we're gonna go now to the force field, because the drone went through and then all of a sudden it just wasn't there. So they will start walking closer.
Monica, what are you doing? You don't touch that. Why would you touch it? It's science.
What are you doing?
Touch it.
The first rule of science.
Oh, I
don't touch something.
She touched it. What happened?
She's gone.
She gone.
She's through. And they're all like, what's going on?
She got sucked through. And so, holy cow. Within 24 hours. Wasn't it 24 hours? They got
She came back from
a massive, within 24 hours, they'd set up practically another town to observe everything. And
reminded me a little bit of Thor with the hammer.
It's very reminiscent. Yeah.
And now I think I go with here first. We're introduced to, finally, she's in the back of a truck with other very, very smart people.
Yeah, what happened?
And we're introduced to...
Hey, Darcy's back.
Yeah.
Who likes Darcy? No, she's alright. Some people don't like Darcy. I think she's okay.
I actually think her and Jimmy are awesome together.
I really enjoyed them together.
I did too.
I wanted to see more of them.
And I love the sense of humor on, hey, what did you find, and blah, 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 and they're like, there's nothing. And basically, you have me here doing all your work for you, but you can't tell me any information on what's going on.
So why am I even here?
And it was very hilarious. And then, right around this part is where she's getting all these different levels of radiation, and then she finds a basic TV.
Yeah, she got a TV broadcast, so somehow, somebody had an old tube TV they dug out, and they were able to plug into the symbol, and boom, they start watching the episodes just like we have.
I can't remember which is first. Do they send the sword guy in to try to get Monica first, or show the TVs?
No, I
think they show the TVs.
Yeah, I believe so.
So, if you remember this, this is Darcy watching the TV. They have to get an old TV to make it come in, the broadcast. And if this looks anything similar...
Yeah, it was really cool. I mean, it showed you exactly who was writing in the book. from at the end of episode 1. So who was it? It was Darcy. So they had been able to discover this, and they're watching it and trying to figure it out. They're watching the episode, getting sucked into the episodes just like we are.
Did that get you? Because I wasn't thinking it was Darcy or anything like that.
No, I would not have guessed that was Darcy at all. I figured it was just some agent, which I guess she's affiliated with them.
Yeah.
It was cool.
And then this is them it's like they're all eating popcorn, watching this.
Well, yeah, they're getting sucked into the comedy of what they're watching, so.
And now they all decide that we gotta find Monica. We gotta figure out what happened.
We gotta get our agent back.
And so here's another explanation of what we saw at the end of episode 2.
Yes.
So you see, they send in a guy through the sewer, basically. And then he goes through the field.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, he is transformed into...
Yeah, the B uniform. So, again, this one's still a bit of a head-scratcher. So, okay, we found out he was an agent trying to get in there and see what was going on. Why was he changed into a beekeeper's uniform with actual bees, and then the cord was changed into some kind of 1960s jump rope? So...
Actually, somebody, and I'm not going to name who, was complaining about the jump rope because that was actually 10 years off. That it changed into a jump rope when it was in the 60s, but it was really made in the 70s.
In the 70s? Alright. Well,
I was like, that's
a little nitpicky, but whatever.
We're going to complain about a jump rope.
Oh, God.
We're looking for everything to complain about. So he goes through, and then you see a different view of Wanda and Vision. And Vision was actually protecting the baby in the womb.
And I don't think we ever actually heard her say no. Like, before she even uttered that, it was like, cut off.
Right.
So Darcy and Lou watching it was like, oh, what happened?
Yeah. They don't see really any of that.
No.
And now they're making a board.
Yeah, so they're trying to figure things out, giving us clues. What's the first clue?
Hexagon.
Yeah, why the hexagons? We theorized it's still something to do with AIM, because, we went into the advertisements about why is there a Hydra advertisement? I still think that hexagons mean something with AIM, but maybe it's as simple as her showing, she has hex power, so it's a hexagon.
And I have a weird question on this. They've at least watched 2 episodes now. They have not said anything about the commercials.
Yeah, I thought that. Well, now I need to go back and rewatch it because I thought Darcy was getting ready to watch the commercial and then she got interrupted. Because I was hoping like they were going to say, "Oh wow, there's a commercial," and maybe they were going to catch something, and maybe they still will. But you're right. It's like
maybe they got distracted.
Maybe there's some pretty big clues here, guys.
At the same time, if Jimmy is an FBI agent, for him to be this far behind about the hexagons,
yeah, I would thought maybe we're ahead of him or them. So. Anyway.
So now Darcy is still watching the sitcoms, and finally she sees actually.
Hey, there's Monica, finally. She's in the background. She's a stand-in, or what do you call it when you just a background person, so, at first.
And then they start doing facial recognitions of all the actors that they're seeing, and they come up with a cast board.
Yeah, and that was kind of funny how so-and-so is whoever on the show, and it was pretty cool. I thought maybe those people would be maybe more prominent, like when they put up who that person really was, it was going to be somebody important, but it looks to me like it's just people that live in town and have been sucked into that reality and are trapped.
What do you all think about the cast board? I want to see in the comments. Did you hope that it was something bigger, like each actor or actress was something bigger into the world of MCU going from there? But there is one very interesting person on the board that did not have an identification. And we'll zoom in here. Oop. And it is
Agnes, yeah. So we don't know who Agnes is. She's obviously going to be somebody pretty important. I still think she's Agatha Harkness, who's a witch, trained Wanda in the comic books. But yeah, we don't know who she is for sure. So that's the big mystery, as well as
The blonde.
The blonde.
The blonde is not on there at all.
And I think she's somebody pretty important too. I haven't figured it out quite yet.
Dun, dun, dun.
But yeah, all signs are pointing to Mephisto, Agatha. They're playing a part, manipulating these things. I mean, the Mephisto hints have been extremely subtle.
Yeah.
So,
But Agnes hasn't been.
Agnes, no. I mean,
And neither has... We haven't even talked about the Grim Reaper hasn't been either.
yeah, and that was such a blatant Easter egg, like, whoa. I mean,
Yeah.
in the credits. But, I mean, going back to Agnes, especially last episode, where she and Herb looked scared. She looked scared as well. Like, she was trying to protect Herb from saying anything to Vision, to offset what Wanda might do. So, I don't know. I'm curious to see what she's going to do.
Yeah. And now, to get to where we need to be, they're all sitting watching still the sitcoms, and they see Monica finally has a speaking part, and Monica is actually helping deliver the baby.
Right.
We're at the part of episode 3 where we're at the end and they're watching it.
Yeah, they're watching it.
And then all of a sudden their screen just goes boom, and they can't rewind, they can't do anything. There's just a big missing piece of what was going on.
Yeah, something that just ends and then boom, it goes to the credits. Well, thankfully for us, they show you what happens. So this is where stuff gets real.
And this is where the question is Wanda actually a villain?
Well, they certainly, on face value, yeah. It becomes very clear she is in control of things. She's in playtime. This is her reality. Monica threw that off and took Wanda out of her fantasy world for a moment, and she's not having it. So she makes quick work of Monica.
So as you can see there, she pushes Monica. There she goes through the wall.
Yeah, I mean she spits her out big time.
And now she's going not just through the house wall, but through the fence.
Yeah, it's like that looks painful. I'm not sure how she survived that, but.
And then you see Wanda still pushing, but now putting back together the holes.
Yeah. So there's a scene too where she almost looks bewildered at what she's doing. Like, how am I doing this, or why am I doing this? So yeah, there's still some questions going on with Wanda. She is definitely creating this though. But who's helping her, making her? Is it all her? That's the big mystery.
And now we get back to Monica is where she was at the end of episode 3.
Yep. Here we are. So she's as shocked and as bewildered as the rest of us. Like, what just happened to me?
Now, my question is, we are at the point where we think Wanda is losing her stuff, which is House of M.
I mean, this is from the comic books. Wanda does have some mental health issues through years of trauma and loss, and
coming up here is where it absolutely actually gets sick. I mean, it just, the thought process of what's going on is sickening.
Yeah,
And here we go.
Oh no! It's a corpse, it's dead!
The whole time she's been playing House of the Dead, dude. Like, in bed, and
I hope not.
They had twins.
Oh no. Vision is dead. This was creepy. A good creepy, though. I mean, this was like, you see that for the first time, you're like, oh, what?
It was sick.
He's freaking dead.
It's a little dark. I mean, that's sort of DC dark.
Yeah, that is. I mean, because look at Vision. He's still got the cracked head from Thanos' fingers pulling out the stone. Like, oh my gosh. So she has reanimated his corpse. However, she quickly changes him back.
Like, I think what happened with Monica throwing her off about Ultron
she got
made
out
her
of
think in her element, and then that's why she saw this.
Yeah, she's like, whoa, I'm back to reality. Whoa, no. So she gets She gets back to her fantasy world.
And now she's telling Vision. And this is freaky too.
Yeah, so this is the question, and it may be she's just totally manipulating everything. But she refers to him as darling instead of Viz. She almost changes her whole demeanor here. Like, it doesn't even seem like that is Wanda. It's like, could she be possessed?
Like, if somebody just that you were close to, wife, parent, whatever, came up to you and looked at you like she's looking at him and saying, man, everything under
she's like,
I'd be freaking out a little bit.
Yeah. She looks like she's got the bunny in the pot and the water in the kitchen. Like, don't mess with me right now. It's, I'm in control and you better listen to what I say.
And then we don't have this picture, but at the end of the episode is going out. She's sitting on the couch with Vision holding the babies.
Yeah. So, cut to everyone's
family.
Perfect. Everyone's fine. So, I don't know. I'm still torn. That's the mystery. Is Wanda, lost her mind so much that she's totally in control of this? Is this all her doing? Or is she being manipulated like a puppet by some higher power, Mephisto, somebody else, some form of hide? I don't know.
Or is she just really this person?
Right, yeah, that's the question. And then going back to Vision. Okay, so animated corpse. However, Vision is the one that keeps going back to her like something's not right. Mm-hmm. Something's off. This doesn't feel right, Wanda.
Like he knows even though he's dead, he knows enough information going on.
Right. So what is that? Who or what is that? Is that the soul of Vision? Did he have a soul? Is he in the corpse of his own body? Is it somebody else? Is it, I don't know. I mean, that's where the Wonder Man theory comes into play. Is he somehow been altered to act as Vision, and he's the one that keeps pushing through this reality to say something's not right? Or is it a piece of Vision's soul that's still there trying to push through, even though his body is dead? So I don't know. Yeah, they're doing a great job with creating the mystery and setting up things. Pretty great.
I want to know what you guys think. I want to know, do you like the direction this episode went, that they explained some information that you didn't technically know? Or are you missing the sitcom part? Are you ready for it to be a 1.5 hour episode to get in depth more about information? I think that, I hate the 20 whatever minutes that they all are.
They are a bit short. Even if they're that good, it feels too short. I would really recommend, it needs to be at least 30 minutes in my opinion, and then you can add on the credits, but
like the credits are almost a fourth as long as what the
show is. When you go to watch it, it's like, oh, well, okay, it's 35 minutes. Yeah, not so much. You got like 15 minutes of credits. Yeah. I don't like that. So, one thing they do, though, is they really do a good job creating the mystery. My brother-in-law brought up a good point. Does everyone remember the show Lost, how popular it was? That show maybe, it didn't end the greatest, but it had such great twists, and there was some feeling of that with WandaVision. Of like, what is happening here? Setting this up, like, who's controlling what?
And I feel the people that will say that they don't like what WandaVision's doing and they don't like the direction. One, we haven't gotten anything forever on any kind of show but The Mandalorian to really get into.
Right.
And I think they are actually doing a good job. I think the sitcom stuff went a little too far, but the overall picture, they've got me hooked on Monica, a new character. I'm hooked.
Yeah.
And they're. When have you ever been this invested in Vision and Wanda?
Oh yeah, I think they're doing a great job. In this episode, put it into high gear, and I think we still got some. We still got the 80s and the modern era, modern family type.
I hope they go back and forth, though.
I think they're going to. I don't think we're going to see, I kind of hope not anyway, that we're going to see a whole episode of mostly just the sitcom without going back and forth. So I think if they do that and they maintain, the momentum they have, I mean, the rumor is the show has as many special effects shots as Endgame. So something's going to kick into high gear.
Hopefully it wasn't just Snap.
Yeah.
The Blip.
I mean, what I've heard is that the first 6 episodes are around the 20-25 minute mark, and then the last 3 get into more of the 40 or 50 minutes.
Oh, okay.
And I think those last 3 episodes are where it's going to become quite epic.
That'd be awesome, bro.
Anyway, let us know your thoughts. We're intrigued. We like it, but let us know what you think.
And if you want more information during the weekly basis, follow us on TikTok. It's Defenders of Comics, just like here, and also Instagram and Twitter.
Oh yeah, good stuff.
We're out.
We're out.
See you next week.